Hi, it's Maggie the Aries Gypsy here to bring you your April 1st through the 15th of 2019 general reading. We're looking at the first half of April 2019. Thanks to everyone for joining us here today. Welcome to any new people. Welcome back any followers and subscribers. Thanks to those of you who took the time to tune in and who continue to take the time to tune in, and for sending in all your support, feedback, and comments. I always say it, but I always want to acknowledge it because I read all of the comments and all of the feedback you guys send, positive and negative. I rarely ever respond because I don't have time to, but I do read them and I appreciate the time you take to write in. And thanks to all of my clients out there too, regular and new. You guys just always so joyfully occupied and busy with those one-on-one readings. And as many of you know, if you are interested in having a one-on-one reading with me, live or recorded, you can click on the description link below for more contact info and some details. You can also go to my YouTube channel's homepage, click on the little about button there, and you can always email me directly at Maggie1McGuire@gmail.com. I'd be delighted to work with you. I can usually respond to your initial request the same day or the first 24 hours. And since I do readings full-time 5 to 6 days a week, it's all that I do. I usually am pretty diligent in working with both of our schedules to get you readings as quickly as possible. So send me an email if you're interested. We'll go from there. I do a wide variety of readings in all areas of life. All right, let's get right into this. This reading is for the fire sign of Aries, our beautiful Rams, for April 1st through the 15th, the first half of April 2019 for Aries. If you know your rising, moon sign, Venus sign, watch those videos as well. Additional clarification is always useful. General readings always play out a little differently for everyone. Okay, Aries, I just felt the need to shuffle your cards a little longer. Okay. All right, Aries, let's see what's in store for you for the first half of April. We begin with the Nine of Pentacles, followed by the Three of Cups, the Two of Swords, followed by the Three of Wands, From the bottom of the deck, overall energy for the first half of April is the King of Wands. You are in your own element, in your own character traits, kind of being true to the fire sign that you are, Leo, Aries, Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, or Rising. Could also represent another fire sign you may be in significant contact or might be an influencing factor, or someone you could be in relationship or partnership with, another Aries or Leo or Sagittarius. But for many of you, you're going to be, it's the King of Wands in the upright. Fiery, feisty, passionate, enthusiastic, full of life, a delegator, sometimes a bit restless, creative, dynamic, a good leader, charismatic, a go-getter, good at problem solving. It looks like we end March and begin April with some pretty great energy. Nine of Pentacles and the Three of Cups. Could be some very independent energy too. The Nine of Pentacles is a card about independence, self-sufficiency, self-empowerment, and self-empowerment. You've worked hard to have the skills and the resources that you currently are enjoying. Nobody's handed anything to you on a silver platter. It's a very independent and resourceful card, and a card about feeling good really in your own skin, who you are, where you're going, where you've been, how hard you've worked, the life that you currently have now. It might be not be perfect or the epitome of where you want to be, but it's pretty darn good and you've worked hard to get there. You can take care of yourself, and if you choose to be with other people or with another person, it's not out of a sense of compulsory need, because you can take care of yourself and you feel good about who you are in your own life, in your own skin. Independent, self-empowered card. Feeling good about where you are in life right now. Now it's clarified by the Three of Cups, another great card in the upright position. Highly social energy. This is a card of getting out, enjoying yourself. Some of you who are having birthdays during this time may be celebrating your birthday with friends, family, and the community. There is a high social energy. This can be a good party card, getting out with people and really enjoying yourself, having a good time, particularly with a certain type of people, good friends, people that you feel very good with or very connected to can, excuse me. I spent all this time getting over a bad bronchial thing, and then I came down with a common cold. It's been one of those winters. The type of people can be just people you connect well with, best friends or good friends, kindred spirits, kind of a kinship, brotherhood, sisterhood card to the people you're enjoying yourself with. It can also represent positive social connections to, or enjoying yourself, having a good social life in your own community as well. So lots of good, independent, just feeling good at where you're at, and really getting out and enjoying yourself, maybe being pretty socially active at this time. And again, for those of you celebrating your birthdays, it can be related to that as well. But then we have a little bit of stuck energy around the second week, middle of the month or so. We have the Two of Swords and the Three of Wands. The Two of Swords is a card about feeling stuck, maybe feeling unsure as to where to go. Twos often represent duality, or being at a crossroads, needing to make a choice. The blindfold can represent not knowing what choice to make, or not knowing what to do, feeling stuck. But it can often, with this card, not always, but often represent a reluctance or a resistance to taking the blindfold off, seeing something that's in front of you that really needs to be addressed, a choice that needs to be made, a path that needs to be taken. But for some reason there's a reluctance or a resistance to really looking at it, to acknowledging it, because even though being blindfolded keeps you in a stuck position, sometimes the fear of having the responsibility of choosing when we take the blindfold off and look at it can kind of keep us being, you know, willingly blind, or having our head stuck in the sand. Sometimes this card can be like the 800-pound gorilla that sits in the corner of your living room. You know, you've got this huge 800-pound purple gorilla sitting in the corner of your living room, and you dust around it and sort of dust over it a little bit. You never really look at it directly, because if you did, you know, maybe you look at it the corner of your eye, you can pretend it's not there, or you can pretend it's some piece of ugly furniture. But when you look at it directly, then you have to deal with it. Then you have to acknowledge the fact that you have this 800-pound purple gorilla sitting in your living room, and something needs to be done about this. So as long as you keep the blindfold on, you don't really need to address what needs to be addressed or make the choice. So what clarifies it, what's this about, is the Three of Wands. So the Three of Wands often is a card that represents waiting for your ships to come in. Sometimes the implication, in the upright position, the implication is mostly positive, or positive most of the time. It can also represent seeing small goals met, small goals being manifested on the way towards achieving a big goal. You've put in some of the work, you're seeing some results, some small goals being met, or some positive manifestations, small ones because we're only at a 3, but still positive, and you're waiting to see what the rest of the results are. Wands in the tarot is governed by the element of fire, which is typically a very action-oriented, fluid, forward-moving energy. But out of all the cards in the suit of Wands, the Three of Wands is probably the most patient, gestative, more waiting. You know, you've put in some work, you're seeing some things beginning to play out, and you're waiting to see what else is coming, or what else, how else your efforts are going to be put in, or what they're going to what you're going to, what am I trying to say, the results that you get from them. So it's more of a card about waiting and looking forward. So for some of you, it may be okay, so I just got something here. I think that this ship, it's just interesting, this is not something well, we get it when we're meant to get it, so somebody needs to hear this. I feel like this ship is coming in and you're waiting to see what is on the ship when it comes in. And I feel like what this ship is bringing is the removal of this blindfold. I feel like whatever this ship is bringing, some decision, an ultimatum, you know, a situation which you may have been not wanting to address clearly or make a specific decision about. I feel like the time is approaching quite quickly where you'll be in a position where you have to make a choice about something, one way or the other. And I feel like the time is coming quickly. I feel like you can see the ship and it's coming in, it's in the harbor, so it's close to docking. And I feel like even though you may not have been, you knew this day was coming up until now, and maybe even a little bit now, you haven't been ready to actually make the decision for whatever reasons. Fill in the blank. It's a general reading, so it's going to be different for many of you, but the energy is the same. So I feel like the time for this blindfold to come off and for you to make a choice and a decision is approaching rather rapidly. Let's pull a clarifying card or two for that. Because of this more independent, maybe getting out and enjoying yourself, or having a highly active social life, maybe it's about modifying that part of your life. Maybe it's about a more personal relationship, or something of that sort. Oh, 2 cards just came out. Oh, Aries. So what's this about? The Lovers and the 2 of Cups. So technically, I mean, the tarot cards can mean many different things depending on the spread and what you're channeling. You could apply this energy to the career, job, work, financial area of your life, but I think for many of you it's just flat out going to be in the relationship sector of your life. It doesn't necessarily mean the romantic area of your life, although for many of you I think it will. It could be a significant relationship of another kind, a best friend, kindred spirit sort of energy. The Lovers came out first, clarified by the 2 of Cups. So the Lovers represents, it often represents making a choice or needing to make a choice. A choice either about a significant or primary relationship, or a choice that might not be about the relationship, but the choice will affect a primary or significant relationship. Some of you, I think a small portion of you, because I just got a very specific message, you may have been celebrating some news about your career path, or maybe a promotion or something which may require you to travel, which is going to put you in a position, if you have a relationship, girlfriend, boyfriend or something, what do you do now? Do you go to the next level because you're going to be traveling? That's interesting. Very specific message for somebody. The Lovers can sometimes represent needing to make a choice between 2 people. In the early tarot decks, this was not the Lovers, it was the choice, and it showed someone standing in front of 2 other people, the implication being a choice had to be made. Not to say that, you know, you're having to choose between 2 people, or somebody's choosing between you and somebody else. It might be the case for some of you, but I don't think that's for the majority of you. But a choice about a significant relationship. Why are you feeling stuck? I feel like the time for making a decision is quite close, and this decision is going to be one that is about a relationship, or is going to affect a significant relationship in your life, if not a romantic love relationship in your life, because it's clarified by the 2 of Cups, which is one of the traditional soulmate cards, kindred spirits. It can also represent best friends, and sometimes best friends that turn into something of a more romantic nature, which may be the case for you too. And I feel like you've been just putting this off, and you've been very good at putting it off, and maybe the person you've been involved with has kind of allowed you to put it off. Maybe they've been going through the same process, but I think the time is approaching quite quickly where you're going to have to make a decision. Do you go one way with this relationship, or do you go another way, or do you go your own different ways? Can all, I mean, it's not always the most comfortable position to be in. So let's pull an advice and guidance card from Spirit on how best to navigate through this first half of April in regards to this. Although I'm not getting that it's too action oriented just yet, but that the time is approaching, and so most of the action is actually taking place internally right now. It's like a fish or cut bait energy. Let's see what the advice is, at least for the first half of April for this, for Aries. The Fool. Advice is the Fool. It may be time in all of this mental contemplation energy, particularly around the second week or so of April. Although general reading timing is always a bit tricky and fluid. The Fool is about stepping off the beaten path, stepping out of your comfort zone, doing something you may think risky or something you've never done before in a different way. The Fool is a trailblazer, and he's all about the journey. Not so much the destination, about what he learns and discovers and explores along the journey, because he's stepping off the beaten path. He has no idea what he's going to be getting into. He's so excited to start. It's exciting, maybe a little scary too. It's blazing a new trail. So perhaps, Aries, it is time in regards to, for many of you, the relationship area of your life, even though you've been reluctant to take a look at this, maybe it's time. Spirit is saying consider, because the Fool is just getting ready. He's a 0, the first major arcana card in the deck. He's just getting ready to start his journey. Maybe it's time to do this differently. Maybe if you've had a certain historical pattern or MO in the relationship area of your life, whatever that means to you, maybe it's time to think about doing things in a different way so that you can get some different results. That's the advice. At least consider it. Because again, I don't think the action is going to be taking place for most of you, or the decision yet. But I feel like it's coming. It's very close. The ship's in the harbor already. And the Fool hasn't begun his journey. He's at the 0, but he's getting ready. He's kind of at the starting line, jumping up and down. So maybe time to start thinking about doing it a little differently this time, Aries. So Aries, that pretty much wraps up the first half of April, April 1st through the 15th, 2019 for you. I hope you found it helpful and useful. If any of you are interested in a more personal one-on-one reading with me, just click on the description link below for more info and contact details, or click on the About button on my YouTube channel's homepage. Email me directly at maggie1mcguire@gmail.com. I would be most happy to work with you and set up a reading as quickly as we can. I do love and romance, of course, compatibility charting, career, work, and finance, investment readings, gift readings. I also offer 6 and 12-month overviews, which take a look at what's coming in all the main areas of your life over a 6 or 12-month period, depending on how far ahead you want to look. They both cost the same. They both take about the same amount of time. So a few different things to choose from. You can also find me on the smartphone app Instantgo under Irish Gypsy, and there's a few different options for readings there too, but most clients find it most useful for fast answers to the quick, easy questions. For a more in-depth or complex, deeper look at things, traditional readings are probably a better idea. So anyway, some things to consider for those of you who are interested. So Aries, I will see you all again in a couple of weeks for the April 2019 mid-month readings. Until then, as always, I wish you joy, peace, blessings, and I hope the first half of April goes wonderfully for you. And I hope to see you back here again soon. Take care. Bye-bye.